Hi, my name is Joanie'S. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a subscriber request themed video. If you have a topic that you'd like for me to cover where I offer my words and then I move Joanie aside and bring in the highest of Christ-like consciousness, Spirit, the Divine Ones, for their messages, please comment below any video. You can message me through my website, Joani'sWhiteLightHealing.com. It is July 15, 2026, and I will be offering this for the collective. It doesn't mean that this will resonate with everyone, yet Spirit does know who is watching and when. Also, if you are interested in having a reading with me, a reminder, I am a psychic or channel. I'm a medium, an animal communicator, a healer, a medical intuitive, and I also do mentorship. You could find out all the information on my website. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please see that disclaimer here in the description of this video as well as on my website. Like the video, please. It helps the algorithm. Subscribe, press that bell all icon, and you'll receive notifications, hopefully, of when I put out a video. I am shadow banned. It is extremely difficult for me to grow this video, I believe, because of what I represent, who I am, and what I am able to do. So with that being said, I'm going to read the theme, and I wrote it down. If you have a child you are fostering or you have adopted them, what does Spirit suggest regarding assisting the child? How do you, as the foster or adoptive parent, stay strong? So first I'm going to bring in my Joanie wisdom for y'all, then I will channel what Spirit has to say. So this is a common Earth School drama. Pre-birth planning to be adopted, post-incarnation, finding you in an adoptive situation. Now, foster, same thing. Pre-birth planning to be a foster child, or post-incarnation, finding yourself in a situation where you are. Why would a soul, let's start with pre-birth planning, choose to be adopted or in the foster care system? It is very challenging. And what does it bring up? A lot of abandonment issues. Why would my birth parents give me up? Some folks don't know who their parents are. Others do. Whatever the case, there are so many existential issues that come up to be hopefully faced, worked through, and released with that takeaway of spiritual knowledge. There are so many opportunities for the soul that chooses the adoption route and the being in foster care route. We also have someone who's been in the foster care system and then gets adopted. So there are so many variations on the theme. This is not an easy choice if it's pre-birth planned, or if it's not pre-birth planned, it still isn't easy if you find yourself as a soul in that situation when you were a child. I have worked with clients who have been in foster care, more so having been adopted, and I ask them, would you like to know why you in this lifetime are adopted? Again, it's either pre-birth planned or post-incarnation free will choice, where there are discussions that go on in the ethers, and there's that flow chart of that soul finding themselves there. So the soul oftentimes is met with a lot of why me, a lot of feeling like the victim, issues of neglect, abuse, abandonment, the big why. How could someone that brought me into the world not be there and other people have their parents or family members as caregivers and not I? So this is very, very common. It's a tough one. Why would a soul choose a toughie? Because they're ready for that. I have heard this spiritual truism. I can't prove it, but I've read it. I've seen it in my spiritual mind's eye and my brain. God doesn't put more on your plate than you can handle. I think, why? Because it would be a fail. So you are faced with where you meet up frequency-wise and spiritual development level-wise. You meet that. And if you're ready to go to that challenge, or you haven't mastered it well and you need to keep working on that same theme, you might replay it again. So that, I believe, is why a soul would do that. Now, from Joanie'S point of view, what would Spirit suggest that a soul do if they were in foster care or if they were adopted? There is the, what can I learn from this? Replaying things and what's the aggregate? What's the takeaway? What is the sum? What can I learn from this? Also, prayer. It's a great feeling, the direct connect with the highest of Christ's light. Prayer. Help me through this, please. Offer me the understanding. Guide me to my next steps. Bring in those that offer wonderful messages for me. Help me to see the signs. Prayer is wonderful. Also, to embrace the concept, if possible, that you have not been forsaken and that you might feel like you're a victim, yet you are exactly where you are to be. There is divine orderedness to everything, even if it doesn't feel comfortable. Now, we haven't covered what happens if in foster care you are feeling comfortable. What happens if in your having been adopted that you do feel comfortable? Then it might be with more grace and ease that you are able to have more takeaways. Accepting what has become of your existence is key. Having gratitude for what you have is key. And to call upon those that you are developing trust with, that you trust, reaching out to souls that you believe are warm and role model excellent parenting and authority, mentors, guides. That's an incredible thing to identify and work with them. So these are some things that I believe are key. I'm going to see what else Spirit would probably be saying. I'm not doing the channeling now. Going in, you take it a moment at a time, and that you don't rush the process of working through pain, working through being confused, working through overwhelm. You might have moments of joy, and that's fantastic. And that if it slips away, it's okay. You've had that. And that is key. That is a gift. And your feelings might ebb and flow, and let yourself be human. Again, call upon those that you trust to help work your way through, whether it's being in foster care or having been adopted. Now, going for counseling, for therapy is key. So you might already be in it. This is a video, by the way, for adults. So this is talking about if the child in foster care is in therapy, or the child who has been adopted is in therapy. That is key. Finding a fabulous professional will assist in being where they are if they're in foster care, and if they're adopted, working through going from not being with their original parents. It could be even when they're a baby and they don't remember, but at whatever stage of childhood, working through having been adopted and easing into a family with grace and ease, and working through any bumps that there might be. So then also I will offer what I suggest parents do who are fostering and who also have adopted. I'm going to just put on my Joanie. Give yourself credit. It's a big undertaking. Some people might feel it's more natural than others to do that. Some people might have regret. Some people might, as they're in it, be asking themselves, what am I doing? So this is similar to the child, what the child is experiencing and why they might have chosen it. And for the adult, that is the caregiver, it's a grand gesture to be of service for a child who has lost their parent or parents, has been given up for adoption, who might have died and now they're in the foster care system, or the parents went to jail or whatever it was, and the child or the parents did something and the kids are taken out of the home and now in foster care. So whatever the case, you are being of service. Credit yourself for that, your bravery and your courage, and thank you for your service. If you feel overwhelmed, it would be good to get help as well. Consult with professionals. Be guided by those who you trust and feel have very good knowledge. Others that are in a same situation that you trust and feel are good role models, as well as professionals. So this is your job as an adult to ask yourself, how am I doing? Check in with yourself. This fostering of this child, how am I doing? Without judging yourself, how do I feel? Am I doing an okay job? Do I need help? What do I need to do? What am I avoiding? Am I on track? Any questions that you have, it's important to ask people rather than bury it, dismiss it, minimize it. And then regarding the adoption is done. So how does your heart feel? Do you feel full? Do you feel the love? And if you're having difficulty interacting with this new member of your family, what needs to be done? There is a process. There's engagement, developing rapport, trust happens to two-way street, getting into patterns. The one who was either in the foster care system and is now adopted or was adopted, never in foster care, they also were developing trust and familiarity. It's, who are you? Well, who are you? And it's a getting to know you type of an experience. So you don't push the river, you let it flow. You watch things unfold. Again, it is a grand gesture if you have adopted a soul. Therefore, you could ask yourself, what might this be about? What is my soul growth opportunity? What are my takeaways? And you might not know yet. So that doesn't matter if you don't know yet. It's just a great question to ask, and that one day you might in fact know the answer. That's Joanie. Now I'm going to bring in Spirit. I'm going to put Joanie aside, and I'm going to see what Spirit has to say. So the first piece is about the children who are in the foster care system and who find themselves adopted. And I'm going to see what Spirit has to say regarding assistance for them. They're all caretaken. Every soul that is in a foster care situation, or they're adopted or in the process of being adopted, they all have guides. So they're all met with a loving cadre of angels and guides, all of them. There's a lot of chatter, and I see them surrounded in a beautiful way. There's light all around them, and there's a sheath. It's like this papoose of sorts. And mind you, if they're a 17-year-old, they're still a child. And so there's going to be that papoose that's like this gorgeous sheath, and they're kept tightly held. And Spirit has a way, an angle for each soul of guiding them. Does it mean that the soul is going to listen? Not necessarily, but that there is help that is available. Help is there. Support exists. Every single child that is in the foster care system or is in the process of being adopted or adopted has angels and guides that are with them all the time. So there is this element of grace, and it's very, very soft. It feels very, very dreamy, and it's like a pillow, and they have it, and it's there. And so that's for the adults who are watching this video to know that these children are kept in a beautiful area, like a staging area. Foster care, sure, they might be part of an institution, but the hope is that they will leave the system and be adopted. And then for the ones that are adopted, it's still like a viewing area where there are many guides who are assisting the soul that's in a new territory. So staging area, that's what they say. Yes, all the world's a stage. So this is like a movie set, but it seems a little different. It seems that the ones that are in foster care or in adoption, they're viewed in a certain way where the eye is on them, not like spying, but making sure that they're okay, making sure that, you know, sure, there might be trips and falls and bumps, but there's a special type of a quality to the energy that surrounds them and the type of information that's being provided for these kids. Just saying, Joni didn't know that. That's quite interesting. Let's see what else Spirit has to say about the children. Yeah, one by one. So the hope is that one by one, the foster kids go into a home, that there's a placement. That's what the soul wishes for. They hope to be selected. That's what they wish for. And that Spirit hopes that there are arrangements made and that there are cliques with different souls, and that they move them out of the foster care system and into a home, into a permanent home. That is the goal. Does it happen? Usually, sometimes not. So keep that in mind. Let's see about the situations where the child is in the foster care system and through adulthood. Every now and then, yes. Let's see what Spirit has to say about those brave souls. They want to be left alone. They're not interested. So sometimes it has to do with how they were treated, or they want to be treated a certain way, and they don't want to enter into a home. They don't want to be part of a new family. They want to stay in the system. So again, it's divine orderedness, and that a soul has takeaways, respectively, regarding not having been adopted. For some, it could feel excruciating. I was abandoned by my birth parents, and now there's no one in my entire childhood that wanted to adopt me. And that gives that soul the opportunity to really do some deep diving regarding the meaning of life, who they are, their purpose, and moving forward. Going back in, what Spirit has to say for the kids first. It's the challenge. It's also about God, Creator, meaning of life, and that the child has the opportunity to believe that there is a power greater than they are that watches over and protects and loves them, and that they are not a victim. And so that is also a big part of this too, is faith. And the belief in self and the belief in the collective consciousness, Creator, that is love. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to see what Spirit has to say for the adults who are the foster parents and the adults who have adopted a child, and what Spirit suggests for them to stay strong and any assistance Spirit has for them. Going in. One by one, you check off your list. Have I done this? Have I done that? How do I feel? What is this about? There's a lot. There are a lot of ideas and feelings. It kicks up a lot of stuff. So keep it in mind when you wake up every morning and you have a child that is not yours or has become yours as part of the family if there was an adoption. And what is it about? Who am I? Why would I do this? What am I learning? Do I want more of this? What is my curiosity? How could I make this come about? Is this child interested? What are they doing? What's going on? And keep the energy flowing. ask the great questions, do what you can. And after that, things might settle in or they might not. It could possibly be turbulent. It might not even work out. Whatever the case, you do your job. You are a breath of life for this soul, and then you see what they do with it. Sort of like a volley for serve. I am here for you. I offer you this. What say you? And there's dialogue, and you do what you need to do, and it is complete. Get help if you need to, if you need professional assistance. If it's not working, you need to talk to someone about it. Sure, there's a rigmarole about it. It doesn't feel so comfortable, but it's necessary. Every foster care situation and adoption situation is unique. Therefore, where do you fit into it? How are things going? And if things are going well, great. And do you like the things that you're doing? Is there anything you want to do differently? And if there are some things I want to change up, try it out. Don't judge yourself if things don't work out. Go, oh, well, I thought that would work. Oh, well, and then you trash it. And then it's like, well, what's before me now that I can try? See what else Spirit has to say. Many of you who have fostered and adopted have done this in other lifetimes. You have been the parent that has taken a child in. They could have been orphaned. There could have been a war. Could have been a drought, and you were a wet nurse. It could be anything. There's a lot of taking in children that you might have done. So this is very familiar to you. So that's why for many people, they're naturals with it. For other people, it could be karmic debt, where they gave someone away and now they are to take someone in and be of service because they let someone go by their own hand, let's say due to neglect. So there's a lot regarding pre-birth planning. It's a very deep, complicated type of an arrangement. So keep that in mind, parent. You're doing the best you can. Credit yourself. And if you, for the life of you, do not know what to do, sign up for help and get guidance, parenting courses, read books, go to a mental health counselor. Foster care and adoption services have groups and meetings and conventions and blogs, and this is what you can do to help yourself, to help the child. No, I asked Spirit if there's anything more. There's nothing more. Keeping it at this. I hope this assists. I hope that this is a video that you can take in if you identify with it, and if you know of others, please pass it on. I look forward to seeing you again. And again, please subscribe. And if you have requests, let me know. You take care and good luck.